Hi, it's Danny here from Off the Tracks. Now, if you want to win yourself a brand new Xbox Series X or even better, a PlayStation 5, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. It's that simple. All you have to do is hit that red button which says subscribe. So when the channel has hit 1,000 subscribers, we are going to pick a random name from the list and then you will win one of these prizes. So subscribe. That's all we're asking. Just subscribe. Anyway, happy riding.
Well, hello and welcome back to Off the Tracks. I'm Lee, and today it's another episode of Ride It, Pie It, or Top 5 It. And of course, I'm joined by none other than CoasterDan.
Hello and welcome to Ride It, Pie It, and Top 5 It, where we rank coasters or rides or whatever it is in a 3-tier system. For example, Ride It. It's a good coaster. It's all right. It could do better. You know, I still queue up for 10 minutes for it. However, though, eyeing it means it's absolutely dreadful. Not a chance would I ever ride this. Not forgetting Top 5 in it as well, where it's amazing. It's incredible. I would ride this every day. So, Lee, what ride have we decided to review?
Well, it's a special one today. It's 13 at Alton Towers.
I can just see now in the comments.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Bias. Well, here we go. We're going to kick it off.
13 then. What, tell us a bit about 13 then, Lee.
Well, it, of course, replaced Corkscrew, which, for me...
Why?
It was actually the first Intamin coaster with a drop track, I believe. That was a world's first element, so, you know, it's...
Wow, there it is. The first drop track. Like I said, it opened in 2010. You can find it in the Dark Forest at Alton Towers. Cost a whopping 16 million. Is it 16? 15 million. Sorry.
Yeah.
Why did I add an extra million on top? I have no idea. 15 million pounds. For this coaster. Obviously, it was manufactured by Intamin. Mm-hmm. They must have had an off day. That's all I'm saying. Right. So 13. I want your honest, true opinions about 13, Lee, and your experience for it.
I feel overall it's a very, very underwhelming roller coaster. I have had a couple of good rides on it, don't get me wrong, but a couple. And I've ridden it a lot of times. I think Skirfest, they had a really good one. The trim on the first drop didn't appear to be on, or it wasn't on heavily. And the flash on the first drop blinded me because it was so dark. So it was fun. But generally, for me, it's just a waste of time and a waste of a really good bit of space as well. If you look how much space it takes up.
I get the impression, I think they were trying to go clever with the woods. I thought, when with the whole marketing and I think that's what people get with it when they saw the adverts and they were like, oh wow, this is really creepy. They even had to tone the advert down to a watershed time. Because it was that scary, and I was like, yes.
But
finally.
That later advert was scarier than the ride's ever been. But for me, I mean, I do love the marketing, and I think the theming is genius for what it is. If you go down to the woods today and stuff, and obviously it's set in the woods, which is why I'm so underwhelmed by it, because it had so much potential. And seeing the early marketing, I thought, here we go. Like, this is going to be something. You know, like, I even think Hex is amazing. I love it. I love that immersive experience. And I thought, this is basically a coaster extension of Hex from what
That's
I can
what
see.
I thought.
Yeah, this is going to be amazing. And it just wasn't. I remember the first time I rode it, you're always a little bit overhyped, aren't you? And I remember coming off thinking, that was the bit pants.
Yeah, it was a bit weak.
And I never do that. I remember coming off Icon the first time thinking that was the best coaster in the UK. And then obviously after a few rides, I thought, actually, it's all right. It doesn't quite rank that high. Yeah. But with 13 straight away, I was a bit like, oh, is that all? We're
I remember seeing it for the first time. And don't get me wrong, the signage is absolutely incredible.
It looks cool.
That signage, it's so amazing. And I love the fact that you can't see it. I mean, for off shots, it's terrible for vloggers. But for that suspension of like, what is in the woods? Absolutely pure genius. There's a few theming bits in the queue line. They've missed so much opportunities there. They could have had them like scary figures dotted about and everywhere. They've got a van, a work van there as well, covered in vines. I believe they've got some gravestones. I remember, obviously, our co-host Rob, he told me about this in the queue line, so we were hunting for these gravestones, and it counts up to 13 all the way through it. I mean, it's good-ish.
For me, it's a bit thrown together though at times. I love the, like you said, the signage is cool. I think the logo and everything's great, and even approaching the station, even though it is scaffolding and a bit of a cheap way out, it does look kind of cool. It looks like a rundown, and there's a bit, if you notice, you go under a ladder, which is unlucky, and things, which is cool. There's some little Easter eggs.
Yeah, there isn't there?
Yeah, there's like a ladder you walk under if you go down the main queue, just where it splits off as you go into where the random Tesla coil is for no reason at all. In the middle of the woods, there's a Tesla coil.
What is that about? Do you know what? Do you know what it's about? Do you have any idea?
No. Well, for me, it defeats the purpose. There's not even meant to be electricity down here. We're in the woods. All the lights look like fire candles that flicker like fire, or if not fire, like very dimly lit bulbs. Why have we got enough electricity to run a Tesla coil here? It just doesn't make sense. For me, it was like, oh, we've got a Tesla coil there, throw that in. Like, where's that old ladder, Bob? Go on, stick that over there, that'll be sweet. Have you got any scaffolding for this bit? Yeah, we've got loads in back. I'll get it out, Gary, no worries.
We promise we're not bashing the ride completely 100%, but like, you have some good points there. Like, I remember seeing it and I was like, why? I'm slightly, you know, people who are watching this, just comment below, why is that there? I go into the station, and don't get me wrong, the station inside looks beautiful, and you got the vines, and you got the whole like woman singing to it. If you go down as you're dispatching out of the station, it's incredible. It's brilliant.
And the Rita guy doing the voice is a nice touch, because it's like the Dark Forest guy.
Yes,
isn't it?
That's right. Yeah. And then you go up the kicker wheel, and this thing is high. Let's be honestly, this thing is really high, and it does pick up some serious speed
until
the trim, until it hits the trim brake at the top. But yeah, it hits something like 47 miles per hour. No, is it? It could be 47 miles per hour, I believe, or 45 or something like
42 miles per hour.
Is it 42? Sorry, it's way past Nemesis.
And a 60-foot drop, which is...
Is it? Wow, you see, it's good. Nighttime is absolutely incredible. That's because, you know, it's just the whole motion of it all. It's nicey. And then obviously you go into the big... Is it crick?
The crypt.
Yeah, the crypt. Yeah.
I mean, it's a great family. I think for the younger ones, like Xavier in his sort of early years of kind of being an enthusiast, really did enjoy 13 because he was a bit younger and it was a little bit scary. But I'm reviewing this as an adult who likes roller coasters, you know, and forceful roller coasters at that. So for me, I was a bit underwhelmed by the layout. I thought it meandered a little bit, didn't get any airtime, and then after the drop track, which is fun, I do think the drop track's fun. It's a really good element on a coaster, but it's done. You drop, you back through the backwards helix, and it is just done. And that's the problem with it. It's just not got enough.
What would you then change about it? I've got a few ideas.
I think if it had a better layout, if it had a more forceful layout, and even if it didn't trim in it, the airtime he'll give you a bit of whip, and it just did a bit more, went through the woods a little bit more, and maybe a bit of theming out in the woods. If you know, go through some near misses, they could have done a lot more with it. If you look at Icon at Blackpool, I know it hasn't got any theming, but the near misses and the low to the ground, that makes it the ride. Where I feel like 13's just confused. It's not scary. It isn't like a psychological thing. Yeah. And it isn't a good coaster. So it just doesn't really fall in any category.
They had so much space. It's ridiculous.
Look around when you're on it.
An acre of land. It's like, come on, guys. Let's push the envelope just that bit.
If you look after the first drop and you go around, and I think you go into like an airtime hill, look around there, and it is just an empty forest. Yeah, they could have smashed it.
Even with the tunnel bit as well, when you drop and then you obviously reverse back, and I just feel like they could have had like flashing, I don't know, as the curse or something like that. That would have been really, really cool. Just something instead of just, you know, going backwards in a dark tunnel.
In a dark tunnel,
yeah. Okay, guys, I think it's time that we gave it a final verdict on 13 at Alton Towers. So, Lee, go on then. What is it?
Well, surprise, surprise, it's a pie from me.
Ooh.
My first ever pie on this series. Because
Ouch.
especially at the minute, I mean, it's always had a bit of a queue. I get it. It caters to everybody. I don't know why. I think it's because it caters for everybody. You know, a lot of the smaller, younger guests won't want to go on Nemesis, maybe, and, you know, things like that. So 13 gobbles up that big crowd of people. But with social distancing, the back rows are gone. I went on it last week, and I think there was about 3 people, other than me and Xavier, on the ride. Because of distancing, they have to leave a gap, and they can't fill the back. So it's useless. I think, it takes ages to get on it. It's an underwhelming ride experience, and there's much better coasters right next door.
I am going to say that I am giving this a ride it.
Oh, it's a shot. The crowd is going wild here at Inversion Addicts HQ.
I'm gonna give it a ride it. Now I know a lot of people think that I'm gonna absolutely slam it and give it a pie. A bit like what Lee says.
Yeah,
and,
it's gone for me.
Some of the stuff that he said is actually very, very true. However, though, I think at night time it's absolutely really, really cool. The speed, the track length is a bit poor. However, though, I'm only giving it because just the signage. I know it sounds crazy because it's not even, you know, but you can't. I can do the whole thing as a whole package. The signage is great. I love the fact of what you've tried to do in the station. I think that's really, really clever. I love the soundtrack for all the smell pods in there. The nighttime riding is absolutely incredible. However, though, there is so much you could have done with this ride to make it a, you know, a top 5 it. So unfortunately, in my eyes, I'm going to give it a ride it.
Fair enough, man.
You know, that's how it goes.
Yeah, you were.
Guys, let us know what you would rate this. You know, would you give it a ride it, a pie it, or a top 5 it? Guys, you can follow us on our social medias on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you are new to this channel, make sure you do subscribe and hit that
notification bell.
Every time we upload a new video, you will be notified. So I'm Dan.
And I am Lee.
And thank you for watching. And happy riding. See you in the next one.
Jake's just made a good point. We all did give Gangster Granny a round of applause, didn't we, as we entered the station?
So, we definitely
we did like the American style. Like, yeah, woo, that was amazing, man. Absolutely incredible. Good job.
Gangster Granny.
Good job. Yeah,
what a ride.
Yeah, what a ride. But yeah, with Black Mirror, I think I'm on the same borderline with Chris, actually. It was good, but it's, let's be honest, it's a fancy mirror maze.